So for the entire month of March, my sales team collected well over 200K cash collected, and most of it was actually done through cold traffic, through actually running ads. So in order for your team to perform highly while closing colder leads, you have to think like a high performance manager. And these are the exact principles that I used for my sales team to perform at a high level and actually make this happen. So let me break everything down for you. So the first core principle is team over self. A true manager operates from one core philosophy: what is the best for the team and the business as a whole. Every decision should be filtered through this lens. It's not like personal preference, not comfort, not emotions. Your role here is not to be liked. Your role is to drive performance, growth, and results. That's why with my closers, with my setters, I constantly tell them, we're not friends, right? Of course, we are friends in a way, but like when it comes to work, I'm the manager and you guys are the people who work with me. We're not friends or buddies when it comes to work. Of course, outside of work, that's where we can be all buddies and we can chat things and we can plan things and all that kind of stuff. So that is an important thing to really embody. The other thing is a deep involvement in the sales process. Well, a high-level manager is not detached. They're deeply embedded in the process. The key actions for a manager should be, and these are non-negotiable, is regularly review sales calls. Do it either daily or weekly. Of course, weekly doesn't mean just doing it once a week. I like to review sales calls on the daily basis. The other thing here is identifying patterns, objections, and leaks in the pipeline. Well, proactively reaching out to reps for one-on-one coaching and providing direct, constructive feedback, not just vague, not sugar-coated, like even telling them like, okay, this is your leak, this is where I noticed it, this is how you can actually fix it. You don't always wait for reps to ask for help, you initiate improvement. And with initiating improvement, as I'll cover in the later modules, you have to train your team for themselves to actually be more proactive. And I'll cover this a bit later here. So the third principle is proactive problem solving and initiative. If something is broken, it is your responsibility to fix it. Examples: if closing rate drops, run like a 3-day internal mastery training or a sales training. Like legit, I saw my team struggle with the same internal leaks. So what I did is I made huge documents going over internal mastery, and I ran legit like a 3-day boot camp, an hour a day for 3 days in a row, going over internal mastery. And I'll be honest, the beginning of the month was slow, but after that internal mastery training, the cash just started pouring in. If reps struggle with objections, host live roleplay sessions on how to handle those objections. If energy is low, reset momentum with team challenges or incentives. Like, you're always asking where is the bottleneck and how do we eliminate it? Always look at it like this. The other thing is a growth-oriented team culture. You must build a culture where growth is expected. It's not optional. That's what I mentioned by training the team to be more proactive. So the non-negotiables are like these. Reps must be open to feedback, reps must actively seek improvement, and ego is not tolerated. If a rep doesn't ask for feedback or resists coaching, they think they figured everything out, that's a red flag, and most likely they're not going to be on the team for long. The standard is to only keep people who are hungry, coachable, and committed to growth. And the thing here is, in the initial stages as a manager, really have to be proactive to kind of train the team, as I mentioned, but later on, you just have to see how proactive the team is itself. Is the team asking you to do call reviews when you're not posting them yourself? Is the team asking you to hop on a one-on-one and do a little training on something where, you aren't the manager initiating it? I want my reps to tell me their leaks as well and tell me that they want feedback or they want call reviews. The other thing, fifth one, is leading from the front. You set the tone. If you don't review calls, you don't give feedback, you don't push standards, your team will just mirror that. So be the most disciplined, proactive, and growth-focused person in the room. How can you lead others if you can't lead yourself? Always remember that. The other thing is building a strong team environment. Performance thrives in the right environment. So implementation. Create a central communication hub. Like we have a WhatsApp group where Slack, we keep it for work, serious stuff. WhatsApp group, we might post like a funny reel there, or we might just throw out some funny gifs and just like talk and laugh and stuff. Publicly celebrate wins, either big or small. Encourage peer support and collaboration. Reinforce positive behaviors consistently. You cannot expect high performance from a disconnected or low energy team. Always remember that. The other thing, once again, we kind of touched up on it, is enforce high standards with no exceptions whatsoever, because standards define your team. If your standards are broken, first, address them directly. Like if standards are broken by the rep, you address it directly. Second, you apply the consequences if the standard is still being broken with something like lower priority, maybe fewer opportunities, maybe no triages for one setter for the day if he's just like not putting up. If he's still not putting up with the standard, maybe for an entire week, no triages for him, only outbound. If it's repeated constantly and it's not being improved, it's the person's just removed from the team. No exception. The mindset shift that I told you earlier is like you're not their friend. You're responsible for team performance and business outcomes. So if someone doesn't perform, doesn't improve, doesn't take initiative, they're a liability. The other thing as well is being data-driven, because decisions are made on data, not feelings. Track and optimize things like show-up rates, close rates, call quality, lead quality, revenue per rep. Like, we have a huge dashboard where we track even the minuscule data, even the minuscule actual data that helps us optimize and helps us make sure that the offer is going in the right direction. So your responsibilities are analyzing trends regularly, identifying what's working versus what's not, communicating insights to the team. You're constantly asking, what do the numbers say and how do we actually improve them? The other thing, this kind of ties down into culture, is ownership and accountability culture. Train your team to take extreme ownership, no blaming the leads, no blaming the market conditions, no blaming external factors. Instead, focus on what can be controlled, improve skill, mindset, and execution. Those are really, really important things, because you're complaining about something external, it means that you can't change it. It means that it won't change, and it means that it's just going to continue happening, right? So look into yourself first and think, okay, what can I fix? What can I do? Maybe the leads are down because marketing isn't keeping up. Sometimes that does happen, especially in info product. What you do then is, okay, how can I take initiative in order for the marketing team to perform better? Now, we actually implemented an SOP that helps us work really closely with the marketing team. That is like, okay, after each call, when the person is filling out the post-call form, they have to rate the lead from 1 to 5 and put a note on why they actually rated the lead that way. So we can double down on the ad creatives that bring the best leads, and we can switch off the ad creatives that bring bad leads. Also, another thing is cross-team communication and alignment, because a manager does not operate in isolation. You always have to look at where you can actually improve. So create a data report. Every single week I create data reports with the ads team, the growth operator, the offer owner, making sure that we're optimizing things not only on the closing side of things, but I'm also helping optimize things on the marketing side of things, on where the actual, like on the product, on where the offer is actually going. So the goal is to improve lead quality, align marketing with sales feedback, and increase overall conversion rates. So the outcome is better leads lead to better performance, and then higher revenue, and then stronger team morale. Because if the engine is switched off, people are closing deals, their energy is high, they show up on calls differently, and they just continue this cycle, and they just go far with this. The other thing, point 11, is continuous optimization loop, because everything is iterative. Like, do this cycle, like analyze data, identify the bottleneck, implement solution, train team, measure results, repeat. Always do that, because you're never done. You're always optimizing. Even though if you're making 50K a month, 100K a month, 200K a month, you might feel like, oh shit, like we're doing pretty well. It always could be better, right? Like, I know offers in the same niche that this offer is in, making close to $1 million. Of course, they have a bunch of years ahead of us, but I know that we can get there quicker if we just have all of our systems dialed in. Point 12, and these are some of the additional principles, some advanced manager thinking as well. It's like hire slow, fire fast. Because you have to protect the team culture at all costs, and one wrong person can lower the standard for everyone. So when you're hiring a person, look at it this way, like, is this a person that might be on the team for the long term? And of course, during the interview, during the role play, you might see like, oh, this person's really good, but then you just have to monitor them. You see, okay, is he actually showing up properly? How is he doing? If the person is underperforming, get out of here. There's a bunch of reps looking for opportunities that are actual killers, right? The other thing here is clarity over complexity. Keep instructions simple and actionable, because confusion kills performance. And this is a thing that Elon Musk says, and I really, really like. It's like, make things as simple as possible. Like, legit, just make them so simple that even a kid can do it. Maybe not initially, but they can learn to do it. The other thing is energy management. Monitor your team energy, not just numbers, because a burnout will lead to a performance drop. So inject motivation, competition, and recognition consistently. The other thing is systems over motivation. Don't rely on reps, feeling like it. Build systems with daily reporting, schedule core reviews, weekly trainings. Like, consistency beats burst of motivation. This is consistency is, we can say it's discipline. Like discipline always beats motivation because discipline is always there. Motivation it goes up, like it goes up and down, up and down. And of course, feedback loop with reps. Listen to reps on lead quality, script effectiveness, market objection, because they're the closest to the customer. Like don't always say that, oh, they're just blaming the leads, they're just doing this and that. Of course, we have to take ownership, but we also have to be rational about it. It's like, okay, taking ownership in the way of like, oh, the leads are a bit worse, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to look within myself. What can I fix in my process that maybe I can even convert those slightly worse leads? And then I'm just going to take that feedback from the reps, pass it on to the marketing team, and we're going to work on actually fixing it. The final identity shift is that you have to stop thinking like a rep and you have to start thinking like a leader, a strategist, and a performance optimizer. Because your success is no longer measured by how much did I close, but by how well did my team perform because of me. So just a little summary of the manager standard is obsessed with improvement. You have to be ruthless with standards, data-driven in decisions, proactive in leadership, invested in team growth, and accountable for everything. So those would be the main principles that truly helped me take this team to well over 200K a month for the month of March. We're easily pacing 250K this month, and I know that if I just keep on latching on to these actual standards, I know that the team is going to go really, really far. It's just a matter of time, right? So that would be pretty much it. If any of you have any questions, reach out to me on my IG. I have a link below in the description, and really appreciate you watching, and I hope that you got some good takeaways.